Before I worked at Exemplar, I had no idea how quickly an hour could pass. If anything, time had gone too slowly my whole life. As a kid, I'd spent a lot of time willing myself to be older and more grown up. Like if that old movie Big was about a teen lesbian instead of Tom Hanks. Unfortunately, the years inched by without a magical instant adulthood. I'd been 25 years old with very little to show for it when I'd started this job. And now it felt like I just blinked a few times and I was 26. All of it was less magical than I'd hoped for. Today, in particular, was anything but magical. Unless there was a fairy tale I'd missed in which an extremely hungover girl toiled away, unseen and overlooked, with the previous night's mistakes pounding in her head in sync with the tequila, and then died alone. I checked the time on my Apple Watch. I guess I couldn't get away with saying that I was unseen and overlooked while wearing a birthday gift from my very generous boss. And tried not to curse. My watch glowed 8:52, but my full-focus planner laid out half a dozen tasks, written in my tidiest, least hungover penmanship. Still unchecked. Everyone said in job interviews for assistant positions that they excelled at multitasking and prioritizing, but the thing was that I truly excelled at multitasking and prioritizing. Normally speaking, at the moment, the tasks I was juggling were trying not to throw up and also trying not to think about what I'd said last night, and worse, to whom. It definitely wasn't the time to dwell on the fact that I'd, in my only truly safe place in LA, blurted out something incredibly horrifying to the woman I'd had the biggest crush on, which meant that, in one fell swoop, I had neither a safe place nor a crush. I wouldn't let this stop me. Focus, I whispered to myself in my sternest tone, which unfortunately was not very stern. Talking to myself, regardless of my tone, was probably one of the factors that contributed to having no work friends. But as usual, I was the first assistant to arrive in my little section of cubicles, so no one witnessed this particular incident. I decided to take that as good an omen as I was getting this morning and got back to my checklist. Assistants at Exemplar Talent Agency weren't actually expected to show up to work as early as I did, but I was determined not to stay an assistant forever. There were so many tasks to be completed before my boss, Joyce, arrived that it just made sense to give myself extra time, so that I could look as polished and professional and achieving as possible. Normally, that worked out fine.